So standing, feet parallel, push down into the ground. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to your sides. Inhale. And exhale. Big inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Big inhale. And exhale. Now bowing to touchdown. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Bend your knees, touch down. Inhale, look up, extend your spine. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale, come all the way up, stretch up. Exhale, hands to your sides. Again, inhale. Exhale to bow. Inhale, look up, tail lifts, head lifts. Exhale to bow. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your sides. One more. Inhale. Exhale to bow. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhale, round the spine. Inhale, use your legs to come up, stretch up. And exhale, hands to your sides. Okay, a little ankle work. So let's keep our feet outer hip distance apart for this one today. We've been doing it with the heels together, but a little wider. Turn your toes open. Bring your arms up. So elbows below shoulders, the wrists below elbows. Come up on your toes. Bend your knees out over your toes. Keep lifting your heels way in and up. You got to use your inner thighs on that one. Heels reach down and come up. We're working the soles of the feet. Come up on your toes. Bend your knees out over your toes. Your torso is vertical. Heels reach down and come up. Come up on your toes. Keep your heels lifted. Bend your knees out over your toes. So your knees have to go wide. Heels reach down and come up. Reverse directions. Relax the top of the shoulders. Go knees out over toes. Heels in and up. Come up on your toes. Up, 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 up. Use those inner thighs. And then reach your heels down. Knees out over toes. Heels in and up. Working your ankles. Working the soles of your feet. Come up. And reach your heels down. One more time. And come all the way up. 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 And reach your heels down. Shake out your arms. Okay. Now, here's where you need your block. Or book, a dictionary, any firm object to stand on will do. Okay, so I've got my block, and I'm actually going to turn my chair around so I can use the back of it. You could use a wall, you could use a windowsill. So I'm going to stand with both feet on the block, and then I'm going to come up on both toes. I'm going to take my left foot and not use it and just lower on that right calf. And my block is squishy. It's better to have a book. And then we come up on both feet, lift off one, and lower, lower, lower the heel beyond the block, and then use both feet and your hands to come up, and then lower, 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 and both feet to come up. So if you're still looking around for something to lower and lift on, that's fine. Come back to this exercise later after the end of class if you need to. But we're coming up on both feet. The key to this exercise is eccentric contraction of that right calf. At the moment, I'm on my right foot, lowering my right heel down. And so eccentric contraction is I'm using that right calf muscle. It's strong. It's lengthening as it fires. And one more, up and lower, lower, lower. Okay, now switching sides. So now I'm going to stay on my left foot. It's going to stay on the book or the block, whatever you have the whole time. Coming up on your toes, lift your right foot off, and then lower, 2, 3, nice and slow. See that? Now use both feet to come up. So that part we don't care about too much. That's not part of the exercise. That's just getting us back up to the top. And then lower, 2, 3. Both feet on, and you lift. Then lower, slow, work your foot, and then up, and go lower. So you're working your toes, you're working your calf, and up. So the going up should be easier using your hands. You're using both feet. The lowering down is the slow. That's the exercise. And back up, we'll do 2 more. Lower, 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 and last one. This is really good work for the calf muscle. Good. Okay. For hiking, up and down hills, very important, and creating stability for your knees. Okay, now go ahead and turn your chair around. Here we go. This is a great warm-up. So it's great for your hip flexors, great for back flexibility. The easiest one is we just face the chair. Stand on your right leg. tap with your left toes. And that's it. We just go like this, just tapping, just lifting and tapping. I'm about a shin's distance away from the chair. And I'm definitely not wanting to catch my toes on the chair. That's a common one, right? To lift up under the chair. So don't do that, right? Make sure you get some clearance. Lifting up, and we go 5, just working on balance. 3, 2, and 1. And second side, just nice, easy toe taps. Good warm up for that single leg balance work we do. You could totally do this without a chair, right? I could just do this just like so. The chair just makes it, I don't know, makes it more interesting, and it gives you some goal to get to, so you know you're lifting your knee high enough each time. There's a little more flexibility involved there to get up to the chair. We'll go 3, 2, and 1. Okay, now I like this one, it's sideways. Okay, so standing again about a shin's distance away from your chair, standing on whichever leg you're away from the chair, and then take the other leg, turn the knee open, and we're tapping up. So you're facing sideways to your chair. Yep, and up. So it's a sideways lunge. And again, you could do this easily without a chair, right? But it's nice to have the chair to reach to. Keep going. Yep, working that balance on that standing leg. Work that outer hip. Lift up through the crown of your head. Nice spine strength. And we go 3. Notice I'm trying to hold my standing leg really still, my torso really still. Good. Okay, and second side. I'll go this way so you can still see me, but you just have to turn around. Okay, standing about a shin's distance away. The toe that's going to tap turns out a little bit, a little external rotation, and lift. And work that standing leg, trying not to lean out into the hip, right? I'm trying to stand up nice and tall on it. Use my butt muscles. Use those newly awoken ankle and calf muscles. Knee goes up. In this case, I'm really initiating the movement, thinking of there being a little string attached to the top of my knee, and that's what's lifting me up. Okay, if you're doing this without a chair, this is not easy. I mean, even with the chair, it's a good amount of work. So keep going, 2 and 1. Okay, so now we'll put the chair to the side for the moment. Might come back to it. We are going to come back to it because we're going to do pistol squats, but we'll warm up a little bit before we jump into those. Let's do some abdominal work first. Cross one foot in front of the other, one arm on top. Lower yourself with control. Remember, you can use your hands as much as you need to. You can use your chair to get down onto the ground. Yay for chairs. Okay, we're going to go into the 100, heels together, arms reaching out, pull your abdominals in and up, stretch your legs out on the high diagonal, nice soft toes, and pump your arms. Go inhale and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find that line from your tailbone out through the crown of your head and hug in along it. Hug into it. Hug in the sides of your waist. Hug in your low abdominals. I'm hugging in my leg muscles, my butt muscles, everything to the midline, and then I'm lengthening out of that. So I'm hugging in and lengthening the whole thing. Big full breath. Go inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more inhale and exhale, 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 exhale. Lower your legs. Take your arms overhead. We're doing the roll up. So arms come up, head comes up. Remember, of course, you could bend your knees to rock up. Exhale over and inhale. I always show that because it just depends on the day, right? Some days are not a full smooth roll up day. Arms come up, head comes up. Find those abdominal muscles. Exhale, round it over. Inhale, shoulder blades on the back. Come all the way back. And we'll do 2 more. Arms up, head up. Exhale, pull your waistline in and up and roll it back. It's a good warm up for the spine, especially in the morning, articulating that low back down. And 1 more, arms up, head up, exhale, over, and inhale, roll it back, back, back. Okay, take your right knee, hug it into your chest. I'm hugging my shin, so I have my hands clasped around my shin, and I'm stretching my left leg long. Reach that left leg out of the hip. Get lots of space. Notice I'm trying to get my left leg down on the floor. That takes some flexibility in the low back. So sometimes when the low back is really tight, you have to bend your left knee so that you're not arching your back when you stretch your left leg. Okay, so we're just working on that over time. Now, interlace your hands behind your thigh, right at the meat of the hamstring there. And then we're gonna bend the knee, flex the ankle, straighten the leg, point the toes. Bend and flex, straighten and point. I am gently pushing my leg into my hands. So the first part of this class, we're gonna work the hips and the ankles quite a lot. And then by default, the knees, right? But the knees we get to the knees through the strength of the foot and calf and the strength of the quadricep or the hip muscles. So that we can't really like directly work on the knee, but we can work on either side of it. So I'm bending and flexing, straightening and pointing, and then bend your knee. Go ahead and curl up if you need to. If you need to bend your left knee, go ahead, but grab the sole of your foot. So with one or both hands, and take that knee off to the right, and just start dragging the knee down to the floor. So this is a good hip opener. We need to have some form of this action for the knee to be healthy, right? We need to have some form of thigh bone toward chest, knee off to the right. And so that's very, very tight for you. That's going to affect the way you use your knee. If this is easy for you, go ahead and stretch that left leg straight and you'll get a little more leverage. And then go ahead and straighten that right leg out. Okay? And we'll do the left side. Draw your left knee, and now start by interlacing your hands around your shin. Draw your knee into your chest and try to straighten your right leg. Really reach out of that right thigh. Open up the right hip. So we've got one side tucking, that's the left side, like you're tucking your tail on the left, and then straightening that right like you're untucking your tail. For those of you who tend to grip your tailbone a little too much, a little too tight in those muscles of the back of the butt, this is a good one for kind of checking in because you can't really overgrip here. I'm really reaching through that right leg. Okay, now interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Leg is at a right angle, so I'm kind of halfway up my hamstring there. Flex your ankle and then straighten and point. Bend and flex and straighten and point. Is working the ankle, pushing my hamstring into my hands gently as I just go back and forth, nice and slow, working the tissues of the back of that leg, seeing they glide. We want those hamstrings to glide nicely. We want all the tendons behind the knee to glide. Kind of feeling where there's hang-ups. I can feel little funny chunky things happen to my knee when I do this. My knee makes ominous noises, but it's made those noises since I was a teenager, and I just kind of go with it. So I don't think the noises are highly significant. And one more time, bend and flex. Okay, now curl up, grab onto the sole of your foot, take your knee off to the side, and then if you're very tight, you'll have to bend your right knee, right? Put the foot on the floor so that you could bring your head back down toward the floor. I mean, if this is really tight, then you probably need to put a block under your head. So keep working on this hip stretch. My left knee is clearing my rib cage and trying to head down toward the ground. I'm just holding onto the sole of my foot. Again, one or both hands. Sometimes it's hard to get both hands up there. Doesn't matter if the arm is on the inside of the knee or the outside of the knee. I put the arm on the inside to help externally rotate my left knee a little bit. Okay, you could stretch your right leg long to get more of a stretch. And then we'll let it go. Okay, we're gonna do bent knee single leg circles. So left leg is down, draw your right knee into your chest. We're gonna do it with the knee to increase the range of motion. Keep your left waistline, left pelvis flat on the mat and circle your knee out to the right. So you're going much wider than you would go if you had the knee straight, the leg straight. So nice, big, full range of motion, knee off to the right. And we're slowing it down too. So we're just really getting into that full range of motion of the hip joint. I'm trying not to let my left leg move. I'm keeping my ribs really snugged in there, using strong abdominal work to help hold everything still. And then reverse, reverse your circle. Yep. And we go out 2, sorry, that was 3, 2, and 1 nice big range of motion, and place that leg down, okay? Left leg. So I'm hugging the knee into the chest, the right leg really staying solid, right pelvis, right waistline, anchored to the mat. Arms are anchored, but I'm not getting all tight in my shoulders. So we'll start with big range of motion circles, hugging my heel in to my hamstring. So I'm not really doing anything with my lower leg. It's just following. Really, I'm thinking of what's the biggest range of motion I can make with that knee. If I have to draw a circle with my knee, how wide could it go? And some of you will go quite wide and then reverse. So the way that hip joint works is really dependent on the shape of the head of the thigh bone. That's the hip proper. And then, of course, the hip socket in the pelvis. So you just respect that, but explore what your full range of motion is. That's the last one. Good. Place that left leg down. Okay, from here, we're going to go into the abdominal series of 5. So go ahead and draw your knees into your chest. Hold on to your shins. Curl your head and chest up. Hold on to your right leg. Stretch your left leg long. And relax the shoulders. And then switch. And reach long through that leg. And switch. Now find those abdominal muscles. This is all about that abdominals. And see if the hips are a little more free too after doing that work. So I can reach that leg long. You should have some ease through the top of the leg. And reach and reach. Go 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1, 1. Hold on to both shins. Rest your head down. And we're going to curl right back up for double leg stretch. Curl your head and chest up. Sink your abdominals nice and strong through the sides of the waist. Inhale, reach long. Remember, your ribs are not lifting off. And exhale. Inhale, stay curled up. Do not let your ribs lift off the mat. Exhale, meaning your low ribs. Inhale, push those low ribs down into the mat. Exhale. Push that waistline down into the mat. And exhale. So my torso is not moving. It's holding still. Exhale. 2 more. Reaching long, but I'm holding my rib cage still. And inhale, reach. Exhale, hug it in. Rest your head. Okay. Scissors is a good hamstring stretch. We'll use it as a hamstring stretch today. Hold on to the back of your legs. Curl your head and chest up. So right here, sink again. Hug the sides of the waist in. Legs toward the ceiling. Hold on to your right leg. Left leg reaches and switch. Reach, reach, and switch. Yes. And so I'm trying to reach up nice and high. That's how I get a hamstring stretch. But I'm also trying to relax my shoulders. Use those abdominals. Once again, my torso is not moving. It's holding still. If anything, I'm trying to curl up a little bit higher, like I was going to try to get my chest up to my thighs. And last one, draw your knees in, rest your head. Okay, double leg lift. I've been emphasizing this week. We're really going to hold still here. The reason I'm emphasizing this is because when you practice at home, you don't have someone there watching your ribs for you. And I know a lot of you who are following along with me, you have a little bit of a tendency to let the rib cage lift, right? So I want you to build that integration from front ribs to pelvis. So hold on to your shins, curl up. So right there, everything's nicely connected, okay? Your low back is definitely on the mat. Life is good. So take your hands one on top of the other at the base of the skull. Notice you're still curled up. You still have your low back on the mat. Straighten your legs. Check that you didn't somehow go into an arch there, okay? It's only really as we lower the legs. So let's just do this little bit and then come back up. And that little bit, and curl your head and chest up more, and then back up. Now, go down a little further, but really watch the low back. And go down a little further, and watch. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Go down, down, down. Now pull the sides of the waist in. 2 more. Reaching long. You can go lower if you can keep your low back down, or I should say more accurately, if you can keep your ribs hugging in. Those front ribs are hugging in. They're not lifting at all. And back up and rest. Okay. crisscross. Hold on to your shins, curl your head and chest up. One hand behind the other at the base of the skull. Left leg reaches cross to your right. And switch cross to your left. And switch. And switch. And breathe. We go inhale, inhale, and exhale, exhale. Inhale, inhale, and exhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, inhale, and exhale, exhale, inhale. Reach and exhale. Good, and rest. All right. Rock yourself up, coming onto hands and knees. Okay. We're gonna do a little arm work. So, straight arms. Nice, spread your fingers nice and wide. I've been working on this with my kids so much, trying to get them to spread their fingers, push into the knuckles, if anything, ever so light on the heel of the hand. Okay, from there, right leg goes back. We're gonna take it straight up behind us, and then we're gonna remember turning the knee and toes down and lifting the low abdominals in. Extend out through the crown of your head. Now, without taking the left arm up, we're gonna hug knee and nose together. So kind of like we were doing on the chair, the toe taps, hug in, it's that same action in the hip, and then reach long. And hug in, and reach long. Hug in, reach long. Now we're gonna step the foot forward to the hand, reach it back, and then go knee to nose. So we're gonna just alternate, reach the leg back, now step it forward, step it back, knee to nose. Reach long, step the foot forward, reach it back, hug in, knee to nose. And last one, step the foot forward, and then reach it back and place the knee down. So we're just eliminating the arm coordination for some of you that need a little slow things down a little here. I lost some of you apparently. Okay, so last week. Okay, so here we go. Left leg lifts, and I'm lifting my low abdominals. Extend out through the crown of the head, so find that line. This is really supporting for my low stomach. And we'll start with 3 knee to nose. So it helps to coordinate. I inhale with the breath. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, don't bash your nose. I've done that before. Exhale, enthusiasm hurts. And exhale, what? Last one that way. And then reach the leg long, and then we'll step that foot up to the hand, reach it back, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale long, exhale, step the foot forward to the hand, reach it back, exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach, step the foot forward to the hand, reach it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one, reach long, left foot steps forward, and reach it back. And come onto your knees. Okay, now, this is where the chair can be very handy for those, the kneeling side kicks we've been working on. Chair can be very nice to provide support for those of you whose hip bothers you in this exercise. So that's an option. You could also use a yoga block or some other thing to prop your hand up, but we were talking about that the other day. So here we are on our knees. Take your right leg out nice and long. And I'm going to take my hand down to the ground, but I just wanted to show that I could have my hand on the chair or on a block. I'm going to take my left hand down to the ground, right hand behind my head, lean the hips forward. Okay, head is back, hips are forward. Nice big stretch there. Turn your right toes up to the sky, lift your leg up, and then kick it forward and back. So I could be up here. I could be on my forearm. That would really get the weight out of my supporting hip in a good way. So we're really trying to work on this leg. Kick forward and back and forward and back. And last one, forward and back, and bring that knee down, okay? If you need to turn around to use your support, go ahead. I gotta get rid of my chair so I can reach my leg out. Right leg is out, right hand down, left hand behind my head. Lean the hips forward, lean your head back. So just stretching open the side hip there. Some of you, that'll be really tight. Some of you, don't even know what we're talking about. That's so loose. So it seems very sort of all over the place with people. Okay, turn your left toes up to the sky, lift that leg up, and then we kick it forward and back, forward and back, and forward and back, and forward and back. One more time. Yes, and come down and come onto your knees. Okay, back to the hands. We're gonna do a straight arm plank for 30 seconds. We can add the toe rock in. So go ahead and start your straight arm plank and then I'll explain the toe rock. So here we go, lifting up, and the toe rock looks like this. I lift one leg off and then I rock back and forth on my toes and place that foot down. Just because we're working the toes to the feet today, lift that other leg up, rock back and forth, heel to toe, and then switch. So you just do that back and forth for the 30-second plank. I don't know, it adds entertainment, I guess. And for me, there's definitely a little calf stretch there. I got to work the balance. And last one, and come down on your knees. That's 30. Okay. Now the shoulder tap from wide legs. So we'll do 30 seconds. Again, you could just hold your regular plank, or take your feet really wide, probably off the edge of your mat. If you have a hardwood floor, that's helpful. If you have socks on, you probably want to take them off, because the whole goal here is to keep the back flat. In fact, I'll put a block on me just so I can test myself and so you can see the point, which is that block should stay really still. So here we go, 30 seconds, straight arms, take your feet wide, really wide. Then tapping shoulders alternately. And I'm trying to hold that block really still. It's not tipping side to side at all. So I've got to use my inner thighs, I've got to use my low abdominals, and I'm just going back and forth with the hands, inner thighs really strong, stabilizing me, glutes are really strong, so nothing's tipping. That block is holding very still. If you had an imaginary block, and this is our last tap, and come down. Okay? There we go. And we're gonna come up to stand. We'll come back to the arms in a moment, but we're gonna work on pistol squats. So here we go. Get your chair ready. Now, depending on your height, depending on how tall you are, your chair height may or may not work for you. So that's why I said get a block, and you can have your block right there, and then you can tap to the block. If you don't have a chair, you don't have anything, just do pistol squats without. You're not going to get very far, but it's really good for balance. So I'm going to time us. We're going to do 30 seconds on one leg. So however long that takes you, however many you get in, it's totally fine. Really, pistol squats depend a lot on balance and strength and so on, and we're working on the balance. So this isn't really about speed in this case. Okay, so 30 seconds standing on one leg, and it looks like this. I'm just tapping back. Oh, my block's back there. I'm tapping back to the block and coming back up. My non-standing leg is sticking out in front of me. I guess that's what makes it look like a pistol. And I'm just creasing at the hips to sit back. I'm trying to very lightly tap the thing I'm sitting to behind me. Very light. Not sitting on it. I'm not plunking down, landing, and coming up. Let's just do one more on this leg. That's 30 seconds. And back up. Okay. Second leg. Comes out with 30 seconds starting now. Watch your stability on that standing leg. So we're really trying to keep the knee in line with the toes. Notice how it wants to wobble in and out. And also notice how the non-supporting leg wants to help. So it'll try to wrap itself around your supporting leg in an effort to help you. Keep it free floating. Keep it out there. Here we go. Oh, my right leg is tired today. And last one. And up. Okay. That's our pistol squats. We're going to come back to toe taps. Now that our back is warmed up a little bit, put your block to the side. Okay. If you have a windowsill or any piece of furniture, that works great. If you don't, you can do mountain climbers. Basically, this is mountain climbers that we're about to do, but with a slightly higher surface, so it forces the hip opening and low back opening. So instead of having my hands on the mat, I'm just gonna have my hands on the chair, and then I'm gonna tap my feet to the top of the chair, just like this. Okay, so again, it's like it requires a little more flexibility in the low back, but you could just do mountain climbers for 30 seconds, which would be this, right? Down here, knees to armpits, okay? Ready? 30 seconds. Hi, Seamus. Are you gonna help me? And we're going. Tap and tap. Don't go too fast if you have a chair because you have to keep your toenails safe. I've trapped a cat. You can't. Oh boy. So I'm drawing that knee up and I'm trying to get up to my chair every single time. It's gonna make me lift that knee maybe higher than I want to, higher than my back flexibility is. We've got 5 more seconds. I'm just lifting that knee up, working that mobility in the hip joint, and enough, okay? So that's like chair mountain climbers modification. Okay, I'm just trying to, my watch timer did something funny. Today is like glitch day. Glitch with the iPad camera. Glitch, oh, my watch just fully died. That's exciting. Okay, so next up, the lateral movement. I wanted to do some sliding, and I was trying to figure out how to do that at home. So I'm going to show you with the furniture mover that I use in the studio, but you can do either stepping, right, if you don't have a furniture mover. So we're going to do this for lateral movement. So you're going side, step, side, step. Let me better demonstrate. The supporting leg is going to bend. The reaching leg is straight. Okay, so it's out straight. Otherwise, we're going to glide. So one leg standing. You can put a washcloth or a towel under your foot, but if you have a carpeted floor, you're going to be doing the stepping version. Ready? Here we go. Since my timer is broken, we do 10 on each side. So I'm sticking my butt out and gliding or stepping. 2, 3. The only difference is the glide works a little more inner thigh. The step will work the standing leg a bit more. 6, 7. I'm sticking my butt way out there, leaning it back. My torso's coming forward. Let's do one more, and then we'll switch sides. So it'll get your heart rate up either way. If you're doing the stepping version, it will probably be up higher than mine is with the gliding. Here we go, 10 on this side. I'm bending my knee. The leg that goes out to the side is staying straight for the most part. And you're reaching it out. Stick your butt back, torso forward. My bent knee may be going toward my toes a little bit. That's not the goal, nor can I keep it back behind me. So you know how in front lunges, we try not to let the knee slide forward. Here it is sliding forward a little bit. 2 more. And last one. All right. Okay, so front lunges. We have the option of gliding or stepping back. If I'm gliding, what I was talking about with that front knee, of course, is that front knee will not move forward, right? Okay, so that is that. We're going to do 10 together. If we don't have a slidey thing, we're just stepping back and forward and back and forward. Let's go ahead. If you're stepping back, bend that back knee a little bit. Get a little bit low in it to step off it, okay? Otherwise, we're gliding. One or the other. Here we go. I have no timer and I'm really bad at counting, so stick with me here. We'll try to do 10 for real. Slide it back and forward. And you can do little fun things with the arms. I do like a opposite arm leg. Helps with the momentum. 3, 4, 5. Watching that front knee. 6, 7. Get into your back toes a little bit, crease them. 8, 9, your back knee is trying to face down. And 10, not out to the right. Or out to the side, I should say. Okay, second side. Either you're stepping straight back and straight forward, or you're gliding, your choice. Here we go. And really this is about policing that front leg. So as I go back, I'm putting a good amount of weight into that butt cheek, sitting into that heel, that front heel, and working that action, okay? So it's not about gliding that front knee forward. If anything, I'm trying to pull the front knee back. Right here, I'm pulling my front knee back. Even if I'm stepping, I'm still doing that. I've totally lost track. We're gonna do 2 more. This is where not having you in the room, counting with me, good. It's hard. Okay, so there we go. Now, a little lateral hip work as well. So we've worked, okay, we're gonna work the glute medius. So that one where we go side to side, like this, the like curtsy lunge, we're gonna do that from up high. And the only thing with that is you do need to sit your butt back nice and low. So if I'm here and I'm gonna cross my right leg behind, this will really get into my quads. I'm leaning into my toes. This is fine, but it's not really the point. Okay, so I would like to sit low and back here, and I could even touch down and come back up. So we're gonna do the same leg 10 times, okay? Just from standing. So here we go. Standing on my left leg, I'm gonna take my right foot behind me. I could touch down and back up. And I would attempt to not touch down in between my foot. My hands might touch down, but I'm gonna try not to let my foot touch down, the one that's going back and forth. I'm not letting it touch here at this point, and I'm not letting it touch out to the side either. So it's just floating the whole time. 3. At this point, I'm guessing with counting. 2. And 1. So I don't worry about counting in my own workout because it's like if you do a little bit every day, lots of different movements, you're going to get balanced for the most part. Okay, especially if you do someone else's workout because then it's not your default. Okay, here we go. If you just do your own thing every day, you might get into trouble because you'll always favor or shy away from movements you don't love. Like maybe this one, but this is a good one. So we're trying not to touch down. Of course it happens, like right there, okay. Or even right here, the foot might touch, that's okay. We're just working on trying not to. Like I said, my right leg is really tired. Here we go. All my running races were canceled, but I'm still running because it's a great way to get away from my delightful family. Good, come back up. It's like the only time I get to be alone. All right, so there we go. Lateral side lunges. All right, coming down onto your mat through a squat. We're gonna do our roll-ups. I'm gonna move my chair out of the way. Sorry, I'll face this way. We're gonna do our rolling back and forth up to stand. Remember, if you have a block or a book, a nice book that's not gonna hurt you if you drop on your head, it does help to hold on to something. Mentally it helps, and it also just shifts your weight in a way that physically helps. So for example, I could hug the block and I'm coming down into my squat and sitting back, okay? Now, as I roll forward, the whole key here is knee flexibility and ankle flexibility. That's what we're working on. So the stand-up part is cool and it's fun, but if you can't get up, don't worry about it. Really just working on that knee and ankle flexibility. So I've got my block, I'm rocking back, and look, I could just come to here, and my hands between my legs, and I'm just working that action, okay? And I could just come to here, rocking. Maybe I just barely get my butt off the floor. It does help to have a little more weight than a foam block, like 5 pounds, 8 pounds works great. If you have a weight, you can hold on to it, right? But we're just rocking back and forth. And if I can get up, I'll get up, right? And back down. So we'll do 2 more. They're just to maybe getting the butt off the ground, maybe getting everything off the ground, come all the way up. We'll meet in standing. Okay, put your block to the side, and we're gonna do some more arm work, a little arm warm up here. So standing hip distance, take your arms up, palms face up, Reach them out wide. Take your hands a little forward so you can see them in your peripheral vision. And then little circles. So palms are face up, extending out. Relax the top of the shoulders, lift up tall through the crown of the head. Just nice circles. So it's just training you to work from the proper muscles. My rib cage is softening down. Just nice and easy, keeping the shoulder blades on the back. Then turn your palms forward, bend your elbows. You're in a W. Okay, shoulder blades back, and we're coming up. A wide W, a low W, a wide W. Really hugging the shoulder blades on. It's not that big an action. It is more about focus, left to right on the shoulder blades. Hugging elbows in, top of the shoulders down. My rib cage is not moving. I'm relaxing my neck and my jaw. And one more, hug it in. Okay, take your arms back out, palms are face down, extending across the collarbones again, hands slightly in the front plane so I can see them, and circling. So what you thought was a nice, easy exercise becomes less easy through the repetitions, and that's the point. And as it gets harder, rely more and more on the back of the arms and not on the top of the shoulders and not on the neck. Reverse your circles. Yep. So I have to keep getting that. For me, it's my right shoulder keeps wanting to help. I'm going to keep it strong. I'm going to keep it relaxed, I should say. And I'm keeping my elbows straight. That's another clue to look for. If you start bending your elbows, you're doing weird things with your shoulders. Keep your elbows straight and palms face forward. W down, fat W, lower W, upper W. Shoulder blades hugging on. Use the back of the shoulder blade muscles. You should be able to feel them now. You should be able to feel the back of the arms. Hugging the elbows down and up and down and up. And one more time, down and up, and rest your arms, okay? All right, so that's working like upper deltoids, maybe a little triceps, and hopefully, definitely the back, the scapula, the shoulder blade muscles. So now, forearm plank, okay? Coming onto your forearms, and this is a whole different set of upper arm muscles. So you won't feel fatigued at all. Okay, straighten your legs, and we come into it. So you should feel actually quite a bit of relief in forearm plank after those exercises. It's sort of fun as you work the antagonistic muscles. So push into your elbows, push into your palms, hug the sides of your waist, use your low abdominal muscles. You can use your butt muscles, inner thighs, reaching out through the crown of the head. Breathe. And we go 3, 2, and 1. Come down, okay? Forearm side plank. We'll do both sides, starting on the right side. Remember that you can have your top leg across. So I'm sorry, I'm on my left forearm. I could have my right foot over like so, and I could have my right hand down, and that would let me lift way up so that I'm on the side of my foot and my shin's off the ground. Okay, so that's variation 1. Variation 2 is the foot, both legs are straight, but the foot's crossed in front. And variation 3 is the feet are stacked. Either of those. Okay, here we go. And lifting up. Take your top arm up if you can, but don't worry, if you need it for support, just keep it there. Yep, and we're lifting. And of course, you can do all kinds of interesting things here. Once you're comfortable in side plank, you could touch down and lift up, and that adds a little rotation. You could rotate all the way through and back up. You could do little hip dips. So should you get bored, feel free to add in some things. And we're going to hold for 3, 2, and 1. Come down. I am completely timerless at this point, so I'm going on feel, which is not a bad way to go. Okay, forearm across. Do your variation if you want that top foot crossed in front, hand down. That can be really helpful for building shoulder strength without pain. Okay, and we're lifting. Top arm comes up. Again, you could, just tapping it down is a great little rotation, right? Just to add a little challenge. I've got my shin is really off the ground. no shin slumping. So I'm really using foot strength, ankle strength there, outer shin strength to keep my shin lifted up off the mat. I'm lifting my hips like there's a little string from that top hip, pulling it up to the sky. Lifting, lifting for 3, 2, and 1, and come down. All right. Okay. Last thing, we're going to get our chair back, and we're going to do our last heart rate raising thing from that. I have no visuals. This is so funny. Okay, here we go. I have no way of seeing what's going on, what time it is or anything. Everything's a blackout. Okay, so this will be our last heart rate thing, and I'll estimate that that's about the time for class. So we hold on to the front of the chair, and we're doing alternate toe tapping as fast as we can. Now, I don't even have to hold on, right? I could do this, so I don't even need a chair, right? I could just do this as fast as I can, running in place. The chair adds interest and a little flexibility again to the hips. Okay, so we're holding on. I hold on because it makes me stick my butt out when I like that. And I'm going to tap alternate feet for 30 seconds. Here we go. And for me, a lot of what I'm working on with the chair, like I said, is hip mobility, hip flexor strength, trying to get my knee up a little bit higher. If you ever see me run, I don't lift my legs, I glide. It's really funny, and that's just how it's always been. But I'm always, despite that, I'm always trying to work on my hip flexor strength and think of lifting my knees. So nice, get the knees up there, get the knees up there. The chair gives you a good reference for getting the knees up there, and also a little something to hold on to so you can actually get your knees higher. And keep going. We're gonna go 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1, 1. All right. And then we will come down into extended child's pose. It's a nice way to end, and it's a nice way to transition to the rest of your day. So my feet together, knees apart, sit the hips back. If your head doesn't come to the ground, you can always make 2 little potatoes with your fists and rest your head on your fists. And the thing about this class, this creative core class, is it's not meant to make us like the perfect physical specimen, right? It's more about creating balance and tuning into your body and diversifying your movement diet, really. Do you move sideways enough? Do you lift your knees above your hips enough? Those kinds of things, right? Do you use the stabilizer muscles? Do you work your feet and ankles? Let's come to downward facing dog. So those little accessory muscles really make a big difference in your regular movement. Walking, running, biking, hiking, whatever it is. Those little muscles, if we can strengthen them, wake them up, bring them into the fold with the big muscles like the quadriceps and the hamstrings, you'll have a much more enjoyable time. Not rolling your ankles, not stressing your knees out. Okay, standing forward bend. So that's the plan. That's why we do this work. I find it invaluable. In my own running practice, I run about 50 miles a week. And if I didn't do this, I've proved the point to myself, like over the summer when we were hiking and stuff. If I don't do this mobility work, things go south really fast. Bend your knees, bring your elbows to your knees, look up, push into your feet, and come up to stand. All right, big inhale, stretch up, and exhale.